It's an anniversary event. I haven't done it, but first these cultists show up as like a pre-event, and then somehow you can go through a portal to like a retro cathedral.
Oh, that's cool. Like from Diablo 1.
Yeah, it's got like the isometric feel. You can only move in the 8 directions, like you could in
Did they add this
Diablo
last
1, and like
year? And they're
yeah, it
just
was
bringing
added
it back
last
once
year.
a year? Okay.
It's
Shit.
like a 15-year anniversary, I think it was last year.
Hmm.
I haven't actually done it. I saw it, but I wasn't playing at the time when it came out last year, so I don't actually know what it's like. I've just read about it.
Hardcore seasonal Necromancer, which I haven't played before. So I did main Necro way back in the D2 days when I was in high school. I had a friend who almost failed high school because of Diablo 2. I'm playing that game quite a bit. Permanent Death Seasonal. I accept. Okay. I don't think I've ever really played hardcore before, so this will be interesting.
I played hardcore once, and then I got scared.
Interesting stream trivia. Diablo 3 was the first game I ever played on Twitch. I did a test stream with Kat over the internet, and I forgot to unmute us. So it's about 2 hours of us on Twitch with 0 to 1 viewers. The game that was heavily streamed at the time with 0 mic audio. So people running around doing riffs. And then I did Earthbound the next day.
Yeah, I thought Earthbound was your first stream. I remember going back and watching some of that.
Earthbound's actually the first one that I did like a single player game, but Act 1. Wait, can we do adventure mode? Is it possible, or do we have to start?
Sorry, I thought that I did that. I screwed that up.
What's this story shit? Get this out of my Diablo.
Screw that. I think you have to be in adventure to do the anniversary thing too. If we decide to pop in.
I will do the Diablo 3 story as a voting spreadsheet game at some point on stream, but for free play, you don't want to fuck around with it.
Yeah, it takes forever. Okay.
It's one of those decisions that Blizzard made. That I'm just generally really impressed with Blizzard and Reaper of Souls in general. Hey, thanks for the host, Plastermaster. I've never played System Shock. Is it good? It's like the predecessor to Bioshock, right? Ken Levine. Hey.
You want to start in Act 1 for the easier bounties?
Yeah, why don't we do that? And you're going to have to bear with me as I figure out what the hell the buttons are for this class.
I played the Necromancer up to about level... I think I actually got to max level, but didn't do any, like, set grinding and greater rifts and whatnot, so I'm mostly familiar with the basic abilities. The pet build that you were talking about doing is really fun.
Sweet.
It's a little more active. You don't raise... most of the things you raise are temporary, but they all have like an active component, which is cool. So you don't just like raise a golem and he goes around and like does his own thing. You do that, and then he has an activated ability where he like jumps on people's faces and stuns them, or turns into a whole bunch of corpses that you can use.
Oh, corpse explosion! Nice.
Yeah, corpse explosion's cool. You get I can't see the corpses on my screen that you can explode. You have this like unique little resource.
Getting some graphical slowdown, so I'm going to turn my settings down a little bit. Discord's a bit of a resource hog.
Yeah, I was noticing that it was breaking up a little bit. It should.
You can try just turning it down to 30 frames per second.
That much. I have spider jars, which means I win the game. Everything's over now.
Oh, it's probably because I don't have a max FPS set. So it's trying to run at a way higher frame rate than can actually be displayed.
Oh.
I feel the same. I settled for Witch Doctor, but I ended up really liking Witch Doctor, despite all that.
I loved Witch Doctor. It had the dots build, which I love being able to do stuff and then just watch my opponents fall over and die. Oh crap.
Maybe I don't want to use the scythe for hardcore. I'll stick with range.
Yeah, there are more ranged and more melee options for the Necromancer depending on what you want to do. The scythe is pretty cool, but it only really shines if you're meleeing multiple people at once, and you can really get the effect of because if it has essence generation per target hit instead of just a flat amount like most of your essence generators. I have to remember this is hardcore. I don't play hardcore. Dying is bad.
Right? Yeah, I'm having to do the same thing. Maybe we allow ourselves one death if we die really early. I'd be okay to reroll.
Yeah, if we die like under level 5, when we can get back here in like 5 seconds. There's some gear. Hey, you want a shield?
Sure.
What is that?
I love how they kind of put themselves in a situation where you never use your weapon on virtually any class, right?
Yeah.
Especially not the caster classes. They're just stats. Moving the goalposts.
I know people who hate that about like World of Warcraft. Like you get these incredible weapons and then they just sit on your back and you never use them as a caster. Come on, man. You could make wand casting animations. I know you could. Two more guys.
So we gotta go in.
There we go.
I have trained well.
Yay! Right, I'm gonna head to the Cemetery of the Forsaken.
Works for me.
One of the things I do love, I played a lot of max content Diablo. I was, doing greater rifts and pushing that content. It was fun. It's fun to get the drops and to sort of refine a build. Leveling up a few characters, especially with the changes they've made to legendaries, is a ton of fun because you end up making builds around the legendaries you find. You're not just like, I'm gonna do Jade Harvester. I only care about the greatest legendaries. I was loving
They've had a really interesting. This is a great game to look at if you're like interested in game design, to see how they've slowly fixed this game. They've made it. The final product of Diablo 3 as it exists right now is very different from even what Diablo 2 was, but it's kind of a cool thing. I still wish that they would experiment with metrics-driven balancing rather than doing it all by manually. Like just say, hey, this build always underperforms, so buff it by 2% until it stops underperforming. It's not as interesting as adding, new effects and abilities.
Yeah, I guess I would like to see that. That would be interesting. But the advantage of this way is you're never just getting patches where it's like, we buffed this ability by 10%. We nerfed.
Oh no, your patches, your manual adjustments would be the significant. Like this is what the skill actually does. But then you could constantly have something that's happening like weekly that's changing.
I see. Yeah.
That's stuff that doesn't need a human to.
This is the first event I ran into in Diablo 3, and it just totally blew my mind. I was like, there's so many free enemies. It's amazing. You should just farm this event. Just keep respawning the game until you find it. It's just that great.
It's not that great now, but
at the beginning, like this was the first place that I could actually got like a screen full of monsters because you haven't done much in the game when you get here the first time.
Did you do what was it? Oh, I can use corpse explosion as much as I like, so long as there's corpses. That's pretty great.
As long as there's a corpse, the corpse and it's pretty generous. You don't have to be over the corpse if it's like near your cursor.
It feels pretty nice. I like it.
Yeah. So if you use corpse explosion in an area, every corpse in that area explodes, and it sort of goes in sequence so that if it kills one mob, his corpse will then explode. Yeah, exactly. So you can get some pretty sweet chain reactions in a situation like
this. Reminds me of Diablo 2. Right on. That's cool.
Yeah, they captured most of the stuff about the Necromancer, I thought. You got your different golems, you get to raise, you get, what's it called, Revive, where you raise like actual copies of the guys who you're fighting instead of just skeletons, which is pretty cool. Let's see. What's that?
Let me equip some runes here. Sudden impact. Bone spikes stun enemies for 1 second. Right on. Blighted Marrow. Damage is increased 15% for each bone spear. Oh, each enemy they pass through. That's interesting. Skeletal Mage.
Bow that I was using. I'm not sure if it's an upgrade.
Nice. Can't use bows.
Why do you have a ghost following you? What's
my spell?
Oh, they look really different on my screen. I forgot they did that to prevent like overwhelming graphics. Right. Our minions look much fainter to each other. Well, and just playing with friends getting confusing, especially if you have like multiple necromancers. You know which ones are yours and which ones are your friends.
You try to make a few more video adjustments here to try to help with the frame rate. Catch up to you.
Yeah, I like the skeletal mages. There are some pretty cool legendaries that like make them last longer. You can summon more of them, something like that. That was a build that I was having a lot of fun with. I think one of their tier sets is built around that, so it's all like the more of them you have, the more you do. They last a lot longer. They're cheaper to summon, all that kind of thing.
Right.
To me, that's what the Necromancer is about, is raising the dead. Necromancer. So I wanted to do that.
I like how they were able to distinguish it from Witch Doctor so far. I feel like Witch Doctor nailed a lot of the general ideas. I feel like there's not enough design space, but...
I was worried that when they put in the Witch Doctor, that meant no Necromancer ever, because I'm like, well, this is most of the class fantasy. Cursing people and raising the dead and stuff. But I missed
It's worth checking out. There's no like investment, anything to lose by giving it a shot, Leon, so... Usually I would say, no thank you, but it directly affects streaming.
We might need to actually backtrack to get to this objective. Well, maybe it'll curve the right
Maybe we can
way.
hang a left over here.
Here's open. Yeah, I've been on stream like 1 or 2 other times, and it never ceases to amaze me how difficult it is to actually look over at chat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm
Really
just in the
used to
mode of
focus in the
constantly... I've trained myself to see it in my peripheral vision when it moves.
Yeah, it makes me respect streamers who can do that a lot more. Because some, like, you know, they check chat like after every Hearthstone game, maybe, really infrequently, and it makes you realize that's not reprehensible. It's more that the alternative is admirable. That's difficult to do.
Right. Yep, this is seasonal hardcore.
Yeah, just Soul Harvest. I love Soul Harvest.
Rasma has blessed me.
Did you just level up again?
Yeah. Soul Harvest is pretty boring though, as far as like, unless if they've changed it. Just try to hit a bunch of dudes and get a buff.
Yeah, but I like having some abilities that are more simple and some that are more complicated, so you don't have to deal with like 6, you know, high maintenance abilities. So I like Soul Harvest too because it means you're encouraged to go into melee as a Witch Doctor once in a while.
My thought when I was playing this game was always, like, you have the opportunity cost, you can only cast 1 skill at a time, so ideally you want all of your skills to basically be passives, and then have 1 thing that you're mostly focused on doing. Maybe 2 if you have like a resource generator versus resource spender build, but a lot of the endgame stuff is built around having unlimited resource.
Yeah, that's how that that build that
boring, but
I
it's
made with
accurate.
my leveling barbarian worked. It was pretty much all just seismic slam over and over and over again.
That's skeletons. Right.
Oh
No,
yeah. So the skeletons have that active ability I was talking about, where you like hit it and they do a thing. Oh shit.
Technically increase their damage against it by 50%.
So it's good for like a unique. Like, otherwise, get off of
I am 100% gonna die because of these frame drops that I'm getting in game, so I might try after this group just reducing the resolution or moving it to full screen or something. I try to do stuff windowed mode, so if I need to back out, I can. Maybe today that's a bad idea. Die in hardcore from that.
Yeah, I'm seeing that on your screen. That's pretty nasty.
It's because streaming uses a lot of CPU. It's about 35% of my CPU right now. It's just ODS. That's part of why I want to build a secondary computer just for that.
Yeah, I remember watching Polar Brewski. He was trying to stream Warships, and you couldn't see it on the stream, and he couldn't play the game. His computer just absolutely crapped down. He has a big Warships isn't very well optimized for streaming. Just
I have
ate his
to play
computer
it on
alive.
a different monitor, but should make it run a little bit better. So I won't be looking at in the general direction of the webcam. Apologies, I know I also have to fix the game size. But hold up, wait a minute. Let me put some inject some pivot into this. Still able to tell what's going on. That's what matters. Okay, so you can still see. That's better.
Where'd you go? I'm coming back.
Right, cooldown versus no cooldown. You're right, sir. So sometimes it's worth having a bunch of long cooldown abilities. You definitely don't want to have multiple skills on your bar that can be used with no cooldown. You have to have a really good reason for that. Like, sometimes I'll have a skill on there that's like a travel ability to save myself, but that's about the only kind of situation.
Yeah, or there's the, you can also do the build, which is like a whole bunch of abilities that you just use each of them when they're off cooldown, and you have some mechanic to reduce cooldown, like on crit or on kill. You reduce all your active cooldowns by 1 second, something like that. There was an old mage build built around that. It's just all about casting all these abilities, getting 1 second cooldown reduction every time you got a crit with any of them, and just stun locking the heck out of enemies.
What's the movement skill for Necromancer? I assume that's the good one.
Corpse dash or something. You have a passive which makes you move faster. It's a
it's just a passive. Okay.
No, you have a passive which makes you run faster like every time you use a corpse. I think you've unlocked that.
Yeah,
and then you've got a an active blood rush maybe? You have a number of abilities where the casting cost is health. That's one of those. You lose like 10% of your health and you basically blink across the screen. It's like a mage blink with a cost. I think one of the sets that's all built around blood gives you like faster cooldown on that and maybe reduces the cost. Ow. I really need a weapon upgrade. When you're leveling up this fast early in the game.
Right.
Yeah,
It starts to
Explosion's
get
great.
harder.
There's some cool runes for it. I really like them.
Maybe go back home and try to craft a weapon.
Actually, that's true. Yeah, crafting is actually worthwhile this early in the game.
Especially on hardcore. I'll port back real quick.
The night embraces you.
Now I have to upgrade the crafter. Goodness. New season. What the hell is this shit?
0 out of 10. Completely unplayable.
Goes up to 17. Can I say it's the only stuff that I can use? Highest usable. There we go. Well, it's only level 5 shit, fortunately. I guess I get up to like level 10 blue. I don't have enough blues, so we got salvage. Everybody sucks. There we go.
Mm.
312% damage buff. I will take it.
That's pretty good. What's your damage at now?
Uh,
I'll
30.
see it on the stream in a second. 30. Nice.
Some change. Don't have enough to
Cool,
craft
cool.
those.
You're a fun dude.
Cultist page. I've ever seen those drop before.
Oh yeah, that's for the anniversary event, I'm pretty sure.
Go into caverns next.
Yep. Kill the queen. Spider queen.
Driver San Francisco is on Xbox One, right on. Corpse Lance. Target an enemy to summon projectiles from nearby corpses. That's kind of cool. I like Corpse Explosion.
Yeah,
Second
Corpse Lance is
Blood.
also single target, which is a little annoying. It's good, you know, if you're doing like Greater Rift sort of stuff and you really need to be able to hit a single high value target for a lot of damage, but Diablo's built around AoE, so not quite as useful for that.
It's behind corpse. Really glad that they got rid of tracking health potions and just made the basic health potion a cooldown. It was a correct decision.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if it's gonna have a cooldown, then don't have it also be a limited number that nobody cares about. You can do the Diablo 2 thing where it's about spamming potions and you actually have a limited number. That makes sense. But
In practice, though, you don't really have a limited number most of the time. It's like, it's only interesting when you either have none, you're about to run out, and you have to make the decision, do I use it? And that basically never happens. You can always have 99 potions.
That foe will die.
oh crap!
Oh yeah, Frozen, my favorite.
This is why we have minions. Soft for shoes. I love getting shoes.
As much like ass as possible over here. Really, I need to build a new machine. Sorry. There we go.
No worries. Don't get anything good. One of the other things I loved that they did with Diablo 3 was that they put it on consoles, realized they needed to make some changes for it to work on consoles, and then they thought, you know what, why don't we put some of these changes on the PC?
Yeah.
Really benefited the game.
So if you go to a different map than what I'm on and kill everything, does it leave behind corpses, or do I have to be like within a certain range for corpses to appear?
I'm not sure. I think you need to be within a certain range. Probably if you're within experience range, I would assume. But I haven't actually tested it. I've only ever played the Necromancer single player.
You will make a fine corpse. No.
I like the effort they've gone into to make the skeletons stand out. Like, they look kind of shitty, but it's nice because they don't blend in with all the other skeletons that are all over Diablo.
Yeah, you can tell which ones are yours. Wait until you get the bone golem. He doesn't look like the guy you're fighting.
Oh, you guys can't see gameplay anymore. Hold on. 1 second. I know it shows me stuck on a options menu there. Let me try to fix it. Hey, how's it going, favorite customer? How you been? See if this fixes it. If it doesn't, I gotta try something else here.
Oh, it still shows my guy as Thunderfist because that's my account name. Point in having a hero name then.
Nope, it's completely pointless. I remember realizing that and being like, huh, why they even bother?
It'd be cool. I was gonna be Nodovan and pick a female character. It's my original Nodovan. But no, I'm Thunderfist with Wolf Warrior.
I have to kill her in 3 cycles? What is this garbage?
Yeah, the worst is. I am glad if you're fast enough, like if you're doing this and it's really easy, you can kill her before she goes. But
The first time. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that there's going to be a lot of drain sphere points and super short games competing at the vote deadline. That's not actual value being created, right? Like it's a tax that people are paying to try to win first.
Long waited for this knowledge.
Season's Journey.
that's nice.
I'll take it.
Oh, no legendary. Okay.
Don't you automatically get one if you go kill the Skeleton King? That's still a thing.
No, you're supposed. I thought you got one for your first. Have a quest kill like this kill of a boss, but I didn't get one, so clearly that's not the case.
Are we supposed to right now? Is it correct to save all the bounties, or should we just
No,
go get it?
you. Oh, you mean save them like until we've completed the other action or higher level?
Yeah.
Probably, but
Yeah. I'm okay to do that.
Finished all the bounties.
Oh well. Oops.
Fucked it up. No, it's
I fucked it up. We can do that for the later ones if you want. Yeah. I wanted to get because I feel like we're really short on gear and we could use some, but I didn't get Jack, so it wouldn't matter if it was higher level. I suppose that makes sense because some of the legendaries have a minimum level requirement,
yeah.
and so you really do want to wait until you're a little higher level so that your pool of possible legendaries is higher.
It's theoretically easier at the beginning too.
Do you want to try to do the Darkening of Tristram thing? I don't even know how it works or how long it takes. Or do you want to go to
try
Act
it
2?
out if it's cool.
Alright. Looks like it's in the old ruins. I'll port there real quick. I think there's supposed to be like a... I can't even click on here. Somewhere.
Not as big of an upgrade, and I get to carry around a phylactery. That's cool.
Alright, I think I found the portal here.
Okay.
You can teleport to me. There's a portal to Tristram. It looks more like the old Diablo portals. It's pretty sweet. It's a little bit lower res.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, they made the movement only move along certain axes? That's pretty cool.
Oh, there's Griswold's fine weapons there. The restless spirit of this blacksmith needs to make one last treasure. I can't open his corpse. That probably means we'll find him.
We need to do stuff elsewhere.
Yeah, I think
this
we
is
need
this
to...
is pretty
Oh,
cool.
and our bars are different? Oh man, this is cool.
Yeah, this is pretty sweet.
I know that the butcher is in here somewhere. I don't know if he's the last boss or what, but I know that he's around. This little sign. Oh, this is Adria. Yeah.
Yes, the sub-block, whenever a game is discounted, the vote total automatically retroactively updates. So you don't need to, like... You need to strategize when you vote for a game. It's always correct to vote for it right now. Man, they put effort into this. They made all of the abilities kind of low res. That's really cool. They still do the same stuff, though. Can I play the whole game like this? Because I prefer this visual style, to be honest.
It's really cool. I like my little low-res spiders.
The low-res skeletons are cool. Dude, this is an obscene amount of work for something that's just an annual event. Wow. To do that for every ability, like my skeleton mage looks... This is blowing my mind. I can't believe
awesome. I get the feeling this is one of those things where people maybe like voluntarily stayed late. Like this is so cool. I want to put more work into it. I want to make it look better.
Explosion radius increase, yes please. Death Nova. Keep the skeleton mage. Actually, let's do. Command the golem target where it collapses into a pile of 5 corpses. Right on. Makes sense.
Wait a minute. How do I... Yeah, there we go. No, it's
oh, the
not
golem's like an attack? Oh, and if I cast it, he's on. Okay, I see him now.
Yeah, and then you lose him, and then he comes back.
It's pretty sweet.
You have to resummon him.
Nice.
For some reason,
incentive
I'm
has you to
completely
blow up your corpses for no reason, just to get the move speed increase.
Yeah. I like that he gives you corpses, though, which is cool. So the golem does. He gives you a source. And there's an endgame ability that just makes it so that you effectively have infinite corpses. The whole screen counts as corpses. It's pretty cool. They even have the old sound effects from the skeletons. I don't know if you can hear it with all the explosions and stuff, but like, they're little cackles.
Yeah, the loot sounds are the same too.
Yeah, wow. Diablo 2 may seem like my favorite, so retro Diablo is very exciting.
I really like Diablo 2. I think that there was a lot of stuff that they had to fix about Diablo 2, because like trading in that game was cancer. The basic end game was cancer. Just run Bale over and over and over. Join in on a group of hammered-in bots.
I keep thinking I'm gonna die when my whole screen explodes. I have to remember that's just your corpse explosion. Yeah. It's it doesn't look friendly. I think that most of my, or not most, a lot of my affection for Diablo 2 is sort of nostalgia. I've loved doing like Bale runs and Mephisto runs, like the speed running, trying to get that down as
You know the pattern for Mephisto, right? Like, you eventually know the map generation and how to get to him.
Yeah, I knew the various pieces the map was built out of, so I could be like, oh, it's this map, alright, it's gonna be over here.
Decrepify was the shit back in the day. Swap that out. More summons blocks.
No, not that.
Do not fear the end.
Yeah, your ghostly golem's really, really creepy on my screen. It's this huge, lumbering, skeletal, like...
It made him look really gross. Impressed.
Yeah, he's super gross. The runes make him a lot less gross. He gets turned into like bone and frost, and it's not nearly as horrifying as the default.
I'm pretty impressed at how they've managed to reimagine the Necromancer. Wasn't sure they were going to be able to pull it off and make it different enough from Witch Doctor, but I feel like they did.
Yeah, I like I said, I thought they'd kind of painted themselves into a corner. What is this? Dark Passage? The Dark Passage achievement. Cool. But yeah, no, they did some really good stuff with it, I think. It has a lot of
them. You can only move on. You can't move on all axes anymore.
Yeah. Jeez, that corpse explosion is so powerful.
I dig it.
Just murders the screen. There we go. There's my speed increase. Spirit Walk.
I keep instinctually hitting Spirit Walk despite not having a skill like that.
Well, you'll get one. It's just a little later for Necromancer, I guess. Upgrade? Not an upgrade? I don't know what weapon you're using, but I can't use that crossbow if you want. Ooh.
Me neither.
Careful. What was the point of this place then? Oh wait, there's another way.
Another path up here.
That needs to recharge.
Nope.
There are all these little stupid side dungeons. I guess they're in Diablo 3 proper as well.
Yeah, they're usually well in Diablo 3 proper. It's pretty clear what's a side dungeon and what's not. The color of the door going in. So if you don't want to do a lot of optional content, it's pretty clear what's optional and what's not. I love the walk. Your character always looks like they're walking, just like in 2 or 1 rather.
I really don't need this mouse wheel down thing for this level of content. Oh, sweet. Just the butcher just chilling.
Why are you getting a little... do you want that, like, thingy thing? Oh shit, it's the butcher! Ah!
Do I want what?
You're getting those little pings on the screen whenever you hit your mouse.
Oh, I have one of those unlockable scroll wheels. Oh, that's cool. Transmog, old school butcher's cleaver. Cool.
Yeah.
I have an unlockable scroll wheel and I have force move bound to mouse wheel down, so I just spin it and then I can... Basically, my character just goes wherever my cursor is, and I use shift to stand still to use abilities.
Ah, okay.
You kind of need it for running greater rifts, but not for anything else. This is like a reference to Diablo 1. They do it for the re-release of, or the anniversary of Diablo 1, apparently. It's pretty cool, though. I can't believe they put this much effort into something that's not available in the game all the time.
Yeah, I had the same reaction when Overwatch took out Uprising, or whatever that PvE event was. Guys, this is awesome. Why are you taking it away? You put so much work into it.
I mean, I guess it's one of those things that if they don't make it occasional, then people will stop doing it. It'll just be extra content that nobody touches, but if it's
Right. But that makes more sense to me with something like the Overwatch event, where you're afraid if you spread out your players between too many queues, then you increase Q times overall, and that sucks. So you sort of are a little more careful with that. But I don't see how this would have a negative effect.
Chaos, I 100% agree. This looks so much better to my eye, and it's not just a nostalgia thing. I just kind of like the slightly pixelated. Hey, Lyric Signet. Well,
Oh, you got a
I'm gonna
Lyric
be
Signet?
higher level than you. Sucks to be you.
Well, yeah, well. Maybe I'll find one in King Leoric's too.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never done this before. This is blind for me.
Yeah, this is very cool, but I've never seen. Open please? Oh shit! The Skeleton King.
I keep getting this weird thing where my entire screen locks. And I'm wondering if it's a netcode thing. Like it's the connection to the servers and not a graphics thing. That's what I've been trying to stop, and if it's actually a netcode thing, then me turning down my settings isn't going to help. Does that happen to you at all in here, where the screen just completely freezes for a second?
I've had that like for like less than a second, where it lags a little bit when I'm loading a new effect. When the Skeleton King loaded onto the screen, I had a little bit of that,
So
but
much more now.
it doesn't
weird.
otherwise been
I've
bad.
never noticed that before in the game.
Ooh, the Undead Crown. That's cool.
New active skill category: Blood, Bone Armor. Rip bones from enemies dealing harm to armor that reduces damage taken by 3% per enemy hit. That's great.
I love the visual for that. It makes you look really awesome. Your character actually gets like surrounded in the suit. You can actually see it cast it. Pretty sick. It's cool. Ooh, that's a dead end.
Devour. Consume courses within 60 yards to restore essence. Pull in health globes. That's neat. Stand alone. Increase armor by 100%. Reduce 10% for each active minion. So you would use that when you're not doing a pet build.
Yeah, even with the golem, that would be fine.
Bone
40%
prison's
is
passive.
good.
No, makes sense. Contaminated mage that channels an aura of decay. Skeleton archer. Oh, that's cool. Not that bad. Dual scythes. Bone pillars. Yeah, I've done a pretty good job with this. No, teeth. Yeah, I like how
Yeah,
they brought
I love
back a
it.
bunch of abilities just as runes. It's clever.
I was really happy because I think it was the last season, maybe it was this one. One of the builds for the wizard was a frozen orb build. That was like the core of the build was frozen orb, and that was what I played back in Diablo 2. Was a frozen orb sorceress. And it looks the same, and it's got most of the same functionality, and it just made me really happy that they brought that back. So I walked a little ways away.
Are you in the
It
next
looks like
zone?
that's
Is
a
there
dead
anything
end.
else to do in here?
No, it was just a dead end. Those passages are all dead ends. So
Interesting. They got the Matt Uelman loud drums in the background. I'll crank the music a little bit on the stream. It sounds similar without being exactly the same. I love that the wilderness theme from Diablo 2 is like one of my all-time favorite gaming themes. Whoa!
you all right
The
there?
enemy that blew up over there? What was that?
Yeah, that was he was molten.
Give it more
Seems a little bit unsporting of him to blow up his own corpse when you wanted to blow up his corpse. What
I
the
see
hell?
what you mean about bone armor looking kind of cool.
Looks pretty sick, right? Makes you look like a really high level character, covered in bones and shit.
that needs to recharge.
Oh yeah, they also brought back Darbad the week in Diablo 3. I like that.
But did they reduce the lowest possible level of gem or something? I just got a diamond instead of getting a chip diamond.
They just removed a lot of levels of gems. Oh, cool.
What's
I just
that?
got plate armor. Look at the tooltip for this.
What's that, Darkstar? Nintendo Labo? Oh, do you have it equipped right now?
No, I gave it to you. It's I saw it in your inventory there. It was second row, third from the right. It just doesn't look like the normal tooltips.
That's funny.
I'm getting a couple of things like that. Archangel's staff,
Yeah, the Butcher's Cleaver, helmet.
Butcher's cleaver. Yeah, got some other gear that's.
All must serve the cycle.
Priesty attacks you to Bone Spike, Siphon Blood, and Grim Scythe. Essence Cost of Command Skeletons, and cooldown of Command Golem. I want that eventually, but right now I'm not as sold on active skeleton usage.
Yeah, I never found active skeleton usage that good. I think that there are some legendaries that make it good, but it just seems like a lot of work for not a lot of gain for most of the game. I just used it as tanks. They just get in the way.
Buy starter kits, construct stuff with cardboard, and you put your Switch or Joy-Cons in them, the devices function. Did they have like an example? I'm not sure I followed all the purpose of that. I think I actually want the stunning. I like having the stun on my left click for hardcore.
Hey, it's Garbad. And he died. He was very weak. He did not ask me to get him magic things to make him stronger. He just died.
I need to go break shit down real quick.
Alright, I'll go too. Oh, I should go on without you so I can get a little bit of experience to make up for your damn Leorix.
Stops
I think
being
my
an
favorite
advantage pretty quick, I think, right?
Yeah, it doesn't have too much of an effect.
Ring of Truth. I love how all
I
these are
love
just videos.
The theme for the town theme, the Tristram theme. That's my favorite like video game music of all time. I think. I just think it's incredible. Let's see, what do I need? I need shoulders. Can't make any.
I need to start picking up whites.
No, I'll take that.
Get an Ami at some point.
Yeah, I haven't been lucky enough to find the amulet yet.
I like the Tristram theme too, but the really loud like wilderness drums area right outside Tristram and Diablo 2.
Oh, legendary! Yes. Staff. The one that scares people.
Rogue's Encampment, I think, in Diablo 2. They did a decent job of mimicking Matt Uelmen's style. I was surprised they didn't get him. He was in they got him for Torchlight.
I was so disappointed by Torchlight. I don't know if that was just me, but it felt really bad to me. Whoa! Did you loot this rock thing here?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Bunch of gems.
I can't use any of them yet. Oh wait, yes I can. Haha, gem in the helmet. Gonna catch up.
I don't have anything with slots right now.
I'm gonna kill this bat and bring bats at it.
Connects, constructs.
Hey! I got a Leoric.
Nice. Did you try to do the Inferno race back in Jay Wilson Diablo 3 days?
Do not fear the end.
You
The
would get
race?
killed
Race?
when you would die in one hit. Just try to beat
Oh,
the game.
yeah. Yeah, my brothers and I ground through that. I was playing a tank barbarian, sword and board, just trying to survive and stun and tank a little bit. He was one of my brothers was a monk, and the other one was a wizard. We got into Act 3, and then one night when I wasn't on, those jerks pushed through and killed Diablo without me. They had like a marathon session, and they sort of like didn't know how far they were going to go, and all of a sudden they beat the whole game.
I think I just made it to Act 3. No, wait. No, I think I did beat Diablo. I remember Act 2 sucking because of the wasps.
Those guys were so overpowered. The wasps and the cats, those little fire bottles that look like nothing and one-shot you.
It's really amusing the extent to which they didn't understand what Diablo was, and the contempt that Jay Wilson had for the series fans.
Yeah, that was... I actually got to meet Josh Trimskera at BlizzCon, and I just talked to him for like a minute or two. One of the things I said was like, thank you so much for saving this game. Like, I love Diablo 2, and I was
Travis,
so disappointed.
Josh, White, those guys all... I'm so impressed that they went to their corporate overlords and said, this is what we need to do to fix this game. We need to get rid of the auction house completely, and we need to, like, get rid of all of the story. And they're like, okay.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that they actually just killed the auction house. That was what I was hoping, but I was like, there's no way that
they would
they'll delete it entirely. Maybe we could get some sort of, I don't know, reduction in it or some sort of limitation so it doesn't just dominate the game entirely.
No,
but,
I think that conceptually there was no way to have the auction house and have it work. Like, I remember playing Diablo 2 and hearing about Diablo 3 and hearing there's going to be an auction house. Oh, that's amazing. Trading in Diablo 2 is garbage. It's not fun. This isn't going to be the solution. But after you play it for a little bit, you're like, wait a minute. The right way to play this game is to play the auction house, not to play the game.
Yeah. It was annoying. So I'm glad they got rid of that. I just didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't believe that they would actually be able to get approval to kill it entirely. I was really happy they did.
Is that a Connect type thing, Leon? Are they trying to go for industry applications of the Switch hardware? What happened with the Connect? And to a lesser extent,
Eternal death awaits any who would seek to steal the treasure secured within this room.
You want to hit the Chamber of Bone here?
The Lord
Sure.
of Terror. And so it is written.
The Wiimote had that too. I forget the name of the guy who figured out how to do head tracking by basically putting a sensor bar on your head. That's kind of what opened the door for the Kinect, if I remember. It's for kids.
Jesus crackers. I don't even know why I'm here. Freaking close exposure just ruins everything. Absurd.
It's pretty awesome. They've done a good job of making it balanced. I mean, the big problem with Necromancer and Diablo 2 is that if you had one skeleton, you were golden, but if you didn't have a single skeleton, you were completely fucked. You had to play with somebody else to kill your first enemy.
That's it? There's gotta be something in here. Did we miss something?
No, I think these are just little bonus side dungeons. There's a boss, Arsec the Venomous, and a treasure goblin.
Was there a treasure goblin and I missed him?
Yeah.
Treasure goblin? Okay, that's probably it then. That's what I was missing. Oh right, I had Ghost Walk.
April 20th. Huh. Was that... Did they have a Nintendo Direct just for that? Or was that Nintendo Mini Direct from a little while ago? The actual game announcements? Where they announced, like, HD Darks... Or, the Dark Souls Remastered.
Oh shit, you got the Army of the Dead?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
He kicks ass.
Dark Souls 1 is a game that I can actually play.
Give it more time.
Price family was kind of surprised when they come out here, and they're like, "You don't really play video games, do you?" I said, "No, I gotta preserve my blind playthrough. Can't play it unless if it's on stream, or if I've already played it before."
That would be really hard, I feel like. If I did any kind of streaming like this, I would be like, oh, I like this game. I'm gonna play it off stream. Screw you guys.
I ended up doing that with Dark Souls 1. Any opportunity I had, like, oh, I'm gonna go grind for this thing that's not new content. I'll do that off stream just so I can play this game some more. Did that with Bloodborne. I'm gonna grind and max out my my blood vials. It's gonna be so miserable. I'm so glad to be playing this game.
How was Bloodborne? I've not seen much about it.
It's outstanding. A lot of people like it better than Dark Souls. I think I like it about as much. It's a pretty different approach. It's a much more aggressive Dark Souls. Dark Souls is all about, like, keep your distance, play strategically, and get, 4 or 5 big hits in. Don't get hit. Be very turtly. And Bloodborne is like, no, you're gonna need to swing a lot of times and be really aggressive.
Yeah, I heard there's a mechanic where, like, when you lose health, you can hit the guy who hit you and get some of it back or something.
You temporarily lose the health. You have about 3 seconds where if you hit the enemy, you get it all back. So definitely rewards.
Oh, you get all of it?
Aggressive
That's
playstyle.
nice.
You can. You get a percentage back for each time you hit.
Oh, okay. So if you're aggressive enough, you could get it all back.
But you can also, you're taking a risk, because if they hit you again during that, it's going to be bad news bears. I think they found a new enemy model in the, what's it? Chalice Dungeons. I believe that Flarewing wants to put Bloodborne Chalice Dungeons on the schedule with his subblock whenever he gets around to it.
I just found the Book of the Blind. When I was a emo teenager, I thought this was like the coolest poem ever.
Oh god, I'm dying.
Well, fittingly, I can't even see what we're fighting.
Yeah, it's too dark. This game's too dark. It should make it more colorful like Diablo 3.
Yeah. Wait. Shit. Oh, it's the poison those guys leave behind. The accursed, whatever they're called. They're poison.
What's causing me to take so much damage too. Hey, legendary weapon. So if you
Nice.
thought I was killing everything before, now it's really happening. It's a shitty legendary though. It's the Spark of Life.
That is one of those that they've never actually bothered to go back and make even remotely useful. Ow, ow. Oh.
I think it is actually 16
I'm
floors.
afraid not.
Is it? I haven't. Ooh, chest over there. Got it. It's important. First what opens it has a better chance to be legendary. You gotta let that amulet? I still have not gotten one of those. Ow! Get off me.
Not a great Amy. Yeah, news bosses by Rupert Murdoch. Wow. Okay, well, we went the wrong way. Whoops.
Did we? Where do we have to go then? Oh, all the way over there.
It's a bit of a walk.
Hey, my spirit grows fast. That's good.
Yeah, we'll see. We might be able to get to level 70. Not feeling comfortable enough to up the difficulty from hard.
No, occasionally I do, and then one of us will drop to half health, and I'm like, no, never mind. I'll pass.
Oh, can you adjust it in game now below a certain threshold?
No, unfortunately, that button is still there, the increased difficulty button, but
It's just always grayed out.
you can never do it. Although now it says you can't raise the difficulty when playing a hardcore hero. Normally it just says you can't raise it as a game. So. Ooh. Oh man.
Legendary?
Wait, I don't know which one this is actually. Yeah, Legendary Helm. I don't know if it's Leorix or... Oh, crap. It's not great, but I'll take it.
Oops. Looks like casting Army of the Dead upsets my computer greatly. It's a bummer.
It is a very, very intense animation.
Yeah, we picked the wrong characters if we're trying to reduce stress.
That's true.
That just makes it more like Diablo 2, right?
Yeah.
That was an actual PvP strategy. It was to use a pet mech to
Lagamancer.
lag the other person out.
Play a Lagamancer with the hammered in and nobody could see anything. That was another thing they brought back. Hammered ins are a viable build in Diablo 3, which is cool.
Necromancer uses intelligence, I presume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're a caster.
Thought they had a nice balance of 2 strength heroes, 2 int heroes, 2 dex heroes. Maybe they would have changed.
Yeah. Maybe they'll add, you know, something from Diablo. Maybe they'll add the assassin or something. Like
Amazon would be cool. Druid would be cool. I think they've got plenty of design space for Druid. Amazon not so much.
Druid seems like the easiest match. Oh, you know, Demon Hunter does overlap with Amazon a lot, to the point of explicitly stealing her skills. Like, the Demon Hunter has multi-shot and a number of other explicit abilities.
Assassin 2, right?
I haven't played the Demon Hunter a lot, it's possible. I also didn't play the Assassin much in Diablo 2, so I'm not as familiar with the two classes, but...
Wasn't there a calculation problem in the higher end Greater Rifts where like the health values were so high that it was causing the game to lock up? It wasn't even like graphics. That's wild.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know if they ever actually solved that. They've never done a stat crunch.
I think they use shorthand for damage numbers. I think that's helped. Where did
they stop calculating insignificant digits?
Yeah, you just see like, oh, you did
Crap,
373 M. Oh crap.
This is actually pretty significant content. I thought this was going to be like 3 floors or something. It's a lot more.
Yeah.
Impressed. Man, I am not getting any whites to sell breakdown.
Well, I would give you some whites, but you can't give people... Oh, hey, I got an amulet that I didn't notice. You can't give people crafting components anymore.
Can't give like white gear that drops.
I could give you the whites before I dropped them, but I already disenchanted them before I heard you say you needed them, and you can't.
It might be that my brain is just forgetting that they're there. Like I've trained myself so closely to ignore them that I'm not even picking them up. Start watching for them.
Okay.
I would pay Blizzard money to be able to make the whole game like this. Although I'm guessing that they've actually made custom maps for this, so they would have to do even more effort to apply it to all the models and maps in the game. They've done it for all the character models already, which blows my mind.
Yeah, and all the abilities.
Like, I don't think it's not just like a blur filter. Some of these are actually different models, like my skeletons. Well, and I haven't looked at my skill upgrades in a while.
Your skeletons are definitely different. Why can't I did.
Revive. Ooh. Yes, I want Revive. I'm glad that that's still in the game. Okay. Screw Army of the Dead. Nice. Revive was the tits back in the day.
Revive is still pretty good.
Duration of your skeletal mage and revive minions by 25%. Yes, please. Thank you.
There's, I think it's a rune for revive, where when they die, they create their own corpses again, so you can theoretically keep the same revived minions forever.
Oh wow, they kept the revive looking pretty similar to Diablo 2. That's great.
Yeah, it's that same black ghosty look.
Right. Goatman.
Broken Storm. What the fuck? Dead Broken Storm now.
Yeah, I think it was a calculations issue. Well, it was because at the time, at least, they were considering every digit significant in the calculations. So I don't think it was because it was breaking the maximum size for a floating point integer or something like that, but just the time it was taking to parse when you were casting skills.
Yeah, I remember them talking about that. They were saying that they faced some difficulties when they wanted to do some of the number crunching type stuff, because, and I didn't know this, not only do different countries use different formatting, like periods instead of commas for things above 1,000, but some of them break it down where they put the digit or the comma or period every 4 zeros instead of every 3. I think the French do that,
Yeah.
or something. And they were saying for localization it was a big pain.
They'll use a dot instead of a comma.
Yeah, they'll use a dot instead of a comma, and they don't do the same number of digits between each dot.
Is there a maximum number of revives that I can have out?
15. And when you revive, it deletes your previous revived minions, I believe, so you need to get...
So I can always be reviving if I don't want to be corpse exploding.
Yeah.
Corpse Explosion's a skill that I can justify always having on my bar because I can't always use it, but when I can, it's very valuable, so it's not running into that same opportunity cost. It's basically a cooldown.
Yeah.
I think the most fun I've ever had in this game was 0 DPS Monk back when it was possible. That was super fun.
I think that a very low DPS monk is still viable. It's a common support character.
You use 0 DPS Monk was, you would put Exploding Palm on everything, so it was basically a Corpse Explosion build. And you would put a bunch of buffs on your party members and you'd teleport around and keep everybody basically invincible with maximum life regen. It's really fun. You were useless by yourself, you had to play in a group.
Yeah, I mostly play Diablo 3 single player, which I know means I'm not getting the full experience out of the game, because they really do want to encourage people to group up. I just don't have enough friends to play the game.
I mostly played it single player. I used to play a lot of Diablo 3 because I used to have a work from home job, so... And I had a friend in the Netherlands who would be on while I was at work. So if I wasn't on a conference call, I would just play Diablo all day.
I totally don't play video games from home, and I'm definitely not on the clock right now.
There's definitely not permanent evidence of that.
No, you don't know who I am. You don't know, well, you do, but the stream doesn't know who I am or my full name. You can't prove it's me from my voice, probably. To be fair, my company also has a beer fridge in the office for the support team, so we're not the most strict about workplace professionalism.
So you're just like, you don't.
Have you ever seen Jahan and Kaimom in the same place at the same time? I think so.
Just sitting over there in Finland with a command center of multiple sock puppet accounts. As far as I know, all of my viewers are Jahan.
I'm actually young. I mean, I wasn't supposed to tell you that, but so is Polar Brewski, which is really weird because he's usually out there in New Mexico. It just shows how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Let's put effort into it. Is Nintendo finally doing weird shit again? I feel like I was getting worried that they were too spot on with everything all the time. They have to put out some weird fucking Wii toy. And that's not even just like a Wii thing. Like, they've been doing that since way back in the day. Remember that printer for the Game Boy?
Wait a minute, this thing's a long way. I got a bad feeling we're gonna go all the way down south.
Oh, is this not right?
I feel like that might loop back to the... Oh wait, maybe it can't... Yeah, I think it does. I think it loops back to where we came in. This is all a big circle. Thank God for the teleport to ally mechanic. I love that in this game.
I have trained well.
Hold on a second. I gotta close my blinds. I'm getting sun on my screen. And I upset the dog by moving, so I don't have a laptop anymore. I'll just suffer.
Oh, that's garbage. It must be northwest.
Really?
It's gotta be that western exit.
Oh, no, I know this. It's the internal one. It's the exit's in the middle. You passed it, I think.
Northeast? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's that northeast entrance.
The first time I ever drank was when I had, like, my boss's boss pressured me to. It's like, it always kind of blows my mind that alcohol is so, like, featured in normal human interaction, like business interaction, right? Just replace that with any other weird, mind-altering chemical. Coffee, too, I guess, but alcohol especially. Hey, you want to go out to dinner and do some LSD? Sure.
Yeah, it's a very weird feeling to be somebody who doesn't drink in this culture. Especially when I don't have a particular reason for it besides just not really wanting to.
Yeah. No, people look at you like you're an alien. It's like,
Yeah.
why? What's wrong? Are you like an alcoholic or something? No, I'm good. Props to anybody who does. This isn't judgmental. If you want to do it, more power to you.
No, that's the other thing.
Loves drinking.
They expect you to have a reason to not do it, or that you're, you know, a Puritan. You think it's evil, and I'm like, no, I don't like it. I don't smoke or drink coffee, and I don't have a problem with any of those. Most people I know do one or all of those things. I just don't.
Right, because it's safer to drink alcohol than it is to drink most water at Kodiak. Absolutely. Like, it's just a cultural thing that's stuck around for a long time. But it's one of those, like, try to imagine explaining to an alien race that arrives on Earth what the deal is with people going out for drinks with the office. And like, you guys are imbibing mind-altering chemicals? Maybe they're ahead of us and they're already doing alien LSD together at business meetings, and we're prudes by comparison. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, that was the Warlord of Blood. I didn't even notice that. I gotta pay more attention to the nostalgia stuff.
Break shit. Yeah, this is pretty great. I didn't play very much Diablo 1, and by didn't play very much Diablo 1, I mean I didn't play Diablo 1 at all. I only ever played Diablo 2, so I'm missing most of the Diablo 1 stuff outside of
Yeah, this is
16 floors.
I don't know if I could honestly recommend that you go back and play Diablo 1. Maybe I'll put it on as a sub-block sometime.
I should beat it. It's an awesome game. It's important. Have you heard the what is it? Use my words. The anecdote about how Diablo is an accident, like the whole way that it's an ARPG. No. Yeah, I forget his name, David Brevik or whatever. He was messing around with Diablo, which was originally a turn-based traditional CRPG where you would like click, you would wait your turn, when your turn would come up, then you would act. And he decided to set the turn, like this turn speed, down to milliseconds, basically removing turns from the game, and he accidentally invented this genre.
Weird.
Diablo 1 was a
I'd never heard
turn-based
that.
game that he... Let me see if I can find the article for it, or maybe somebody else can look it up, and I'm sure it's super interesting.
That's so cool. Well, we're
It's like,
on
wow,
the
this is actually really fun. This is way cooler than the stupid thing we were trying to make. Let's do this instead.
I love reading about that, like that thing that you linked about the evolution of Final Fantasy XIV, or I found an article somewhat recently about the birth of Age of Empires. Age of Empires 1 was originally going to start at like caveman dawn of time and go through the ages. It was kind of going to be a real-time civilization.
Ha.
And they just sort of kicked it around and they kept changing it, and it eventually got to what we know as Age of Empires. But the original one was very, very different, and I thought it sounded really interesting. It made me want to play an early beta of that game. That's another game I love. I play the hell out of Age of Empires.
I've never played it.
That would have been a fun one. Oh, really? Oh, man, you need to play Age of Empires. It's great. I like it because you really can't micro. It's a macro game, and I don't like microing particularly. And I feel like in StarCraft, if I don't micro, I'm doing it wrong. Or 3. Warcraft 3, you're an idiot if you don't micro. You know, you got to be switching between your spellcasters and your heroes and stunning and all this stuff.
Micro
And
is
Age of
the
Empires
stress
back
that
down.
keeps me from enjoying RTS games.
It's the what?
It's the stress that keeps me from enjoying RTS games. It's
Yeah,
knowing that
yeah, like-
there's basically no upper bound to my performance. Any other game, like, okay, you know, an MMO is basically turn-based, but the turn takes 2.5 seconds, however long the global cooldown is. Or even a game like Dark Souls, like, there's only so many inputs I can do at a given second. Once I've committed to swinging, that's the only swing I can do. So I can think of the game as taking place in discrete time steps, no matter how small those discrete steps are. But I could always be more optimal in an RTS. And even though I never play any game optimally, knowing that I can never be optimal freaks me out for some reason. I can't really describe why.
That's fair. That's fair. Age of Empires 2 actually gets around that problem by being bad. You can't really micro because units pathing and AI is really poor, and if you give too many orders, they just won't do anything. They take a while to attack, and if you interrupt it, like they'll just cancel their attack and they won't do anything. And the pathing is horrific. If you give multiple orders to a group of people, they'll like path backwards and forwards over each other and get utterly confused. So it's really much more efficient to just be like, take these 40 men, attack that direction. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my base, build more dudes, and do more upgrades.
You know, I thought, very naively, that I could use both Corpse Explosion and Revive, but it turns out that you have so much... It's interesting how they've made corpses into a resource. Like, I really didn't think that they could build that onto the existing game without building it from the ground up, but I really now have to think about, do I want a Corpse Explode, or do I want more Revive minions?
Well, like I said, you can get that rune where they drop their corpses again when they die. Same for the skeletal mages, actually, if you're still using them. Though. But yeah, so you can have a revive, get at least 5, 10, 15 minions on revive, and then just carry them forward constantly. And only corpse explodes new different people.
That's how you know it's good water. Yeah, that raw water shit, man. I don't know. Increase your max essence, poison abilities, slow enemies, increase attacks for points. Yeah.
Have you unlocked your I Can't Die ability yet? I don't know what it is for the...
No, not yet.
What
I've been
that
watching
is.
for it.
I just got mine, my Spirit Vessel. Which is...
Final service. When you take lethal damage, you're sustained, preventing all damage for 4 seconds. Consume minions to heal for 10% of your life. Okay, let's see. 60-second cooldown. That seems really short. I guess you are the Necromancer.
That's mine, too.
Explodes by
The,
5 corpses.
Spirit Vessel? Spirit Vessel, 60 seconds.
No, maybe they made it more aggressively timed.
I
I
think they
swear it
might
used to
have...
be longer.
I think it used to be 2 minutes for most of those invincibility ones.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's weird. I can't get through that door. can't even click on it. I feel like I'm missing something here.
It's not even very expensive to distill water. Like,
That's weird.
it's not the.
There's rooms at the top of those stairs, and you can't go in them, as far as I can tell.
Huh. I got that cool symbol on the ground up here.
Yeah, I really thought that I could do something there. I was wandering around, I killed all the monsters, but like... As far as I can tell, like, there's a little altar.
Can interact with the altar.
Don't seem to be able to, no.
Interesting.
Very weird.
Book of Lazarus.
Oh, hey, maybe that's what we need. Whoa, what the? Where'd you go?
Interacted on the Book of Lazarus and it teleported me up here with all these enemies.
I
That's how
can't go
got
in.
into this room.
You are all alone.
Oh, can you not see all this stuff?
I
Can
can't
you
go
come
in,
back?
I'm
Can
stuck
you just
on...
manually walk up to the top right?
Oh, it opened the
So
doors.
there's another book over here.
Hey!
Broken a door, and there's another book on the other side that I'm gonna go through. Which will open that door.
Hey, and there's the Archbishop Lazarus. It's for you, ugly. Ow. Ow.
Shit, he's gonna die during the frozen time. There we go. Get a Tide Pod in your raw water. Nice. Flawless gems. Oh, he made a portal?
I imagine that would take us to the Diablos. I got any upgrades here. That's a lot of damage.
Labyrinth 16. Yeah, let me go slot some of these. Well, and I guess I didn't get a good enough gem to care about it. Never mind.
Labyrinth level 16. Alright.
This is super cool. We've been doing this for like an hour, right? It only took us about 15 minutes to do the bounties.
Yeah.
It really is a significant amount of content.
Jeez, that corpse explosion is
I love it. It's the best.
Oh, hi, Diablo.
Hey, bud.
How's it going? Where'd he go? There he is.
Man, I miss this. I love back when bosses would just show up, right? I hated that about Diablo 3. You have this big meet
Whoa.
the butcher. Whoa, cutscene.
Yeah.
Old graphics cutscene. Is this the original cutscene, or did they render this today? Because if they did, that's really impressive. This might be the original cutscene, isn't it? Puts the soul stone on his head.
Yeah.
That would be so cool if they like intentionally rendered one. Rare pants are just pants you don't cook. Yeah, it's a Diablo 1 based dungeon in Diablo 3. It reduces the resolution of everything. It makes it so you can only move in like 8 directions. And it changes the models for all of the characters, abilities, weapons, armor. I wish I could make the whole game look like it. And it's only available during the anniversary window. It's about an hour of content, too.
That looked painful.
I might actually, I was not planning on uploading this stream to YouTube since it's just free play, but I'll upload this cool event. Let me split the recording here.
Oh, cool. I
That's
got
the original
a
cutscene. Red Soul Shard.
legendary...
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
legendary gem. That's cool. Periodically
Yeah.
struggle for control, unleashing a ring of fire that inflicts... Okay, so it's the... What's that D2 thing you could get? Hellfire ring or whatever?
Yeah, yeah, the Hellfire Ring.
They added that in this game too, but it's pretty similar. Alright, so I need to slot that. Can
Well,
only
you
be
need a
inserted into
socket.
helms with sockets, but it's only helms with sockets because you have to put it in your head,
Oh wait,
right?
what? Oh, it has to go in a helm socket. That's
It's
amazing.
a legendary
I was
gem that
thinking-
goes in a helm. That's awesome.
And that means it doesn't compete with
Yeah, the other
actual
cool shit.
legendary gems.
And you get a new transmog when you slot it. Sweet. That's super cool.
No way. Wait, can I?
Give me a quick sec. I'm gonna split my recording here. I think I'll go ahead and upload that dungeon to YouTube.
Transmog.